Charlie Rowan, Brian McCann, and Richard. Richard, hi. Richard, I'll put you as an alternate, okay? So you can participate, right? All right. Roman numeral 3, bills and communications, approval of meeting minutes of June 2nd, 2021. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? All in favor? Aye. Okay, approval of recording secretary's bill of June 2nd, 2021. We're approving the bill. Anyone opposed? Okay. All right, Roman numeral 3C, we met the search committee and the consultant, we met all day today with numerous candidates for the director position. We will be extending an offer and we're moving as quickly as possible to have that person start if they accept the offer. So we'll keep you posted. Be aware that we will need to hold a special meeting and have an executive session so that Dabney Bowen and I can review the candidate with you, because you all need to vote and approve the candidate. Okay, so I don't know when it's going to be yet, but hopefully you can all join. It's going to be hopefully not a very long meeting. Okay, so just stay tuned if you would. Thank you very much. Okay, before, if it's okay with everyone, we have one agenda item to hear from testimony from. I wanted to have our town council attorney Herbst review an item with us ahead of everyone else, if that's okay with all of you. Okay. All right. Thank you. Just go right ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the commission. I appreciate you taking Ms. Raymond and I out of order. We both have other meetings this evening, and I wanted to make sure we made this a priority for the commission. And it's perhaps timely that we are making this presentation to you on an issue of policy as you vet the finalists for the position of conservation director. And it's important to note that one of the things that SLR has done since March in assuming the functions of assisting with day-to-day operations within the department, they have also reviewed existing policies and procedures and will in short order be providing a series of recommendations to the town as to certain areas that need to be addressed to either be corrected and or recommend best practices that have been used in other municipalities that should be implemented in the town of Fairfield. I can tell you that one of the issues that has come up from both an environmental and a legal perspective is the issue of the regulation of tidal wetlands by the Conservation Commission. We have noted that in the past, the commission and the department have exercised what they believe to be jurisdiction to regulate tidal wetlands. What we have determined by way of a recent appeal that has been taken, and also SLR's review of existing procedures within the department, and Megan will be able to expound upon this, but we have looked at this from a legal perspective, and the town of Fairfield does not have jurisdiction over tidal wetlands. Tidal wetlands are solely regulated by the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. Now, it isn't significant and important to note that your town plan and zoning commission does have an indirect function to regulate coastal resources through a coastal area management review. So when an application comes in, a CAM application is filed, and the commission, town plan and zoning commission, considers that. One of the recommendations that will be made to you when the SLR report is issued is that your wetland map has not been updated since 1994. So one of the recommendations that you will receive is to update that wetland map. And what Megan can do at this point in time is kind of walk you through why that's significant the differentiation between inland wetland and tidal wetland, and procedures and protocols that should be, as a matter of policy, blessed by this commission on a go-forward basis. So Megan, I'm going to turn it over to you at this time to further brief the commission on your findings and recommendations.
Sure. Thanks, Tim. Megan Raymond for the record. And yeah, essentially it just comes down to statute. And I think that perhaps maybe that there was, from my understanding, a little bit of a shift in, I'm getting a lot of reverb here, a little bit of a shift in policy as it relates to inland versus tidal wetlands as a result of this this case that wound up being, it was a split decision, but it's now an appeal. But essentially, the Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Act defines wetlands as poorly drained, very poorly drained alluvial or floodplain soils and floodplain soils, whereas the Tidal Wetland Act is based strictly on vegetation. And the issue is that there are specific exclusions in the Tidal Wetlands Act that prohibits both dual jurisdiction as well as jurisdiction for a municipal commission to undertake regulation of tidal wetlands. And that has to do with the public trust lands along our shoreline. You know, it's state land seaward of mean high water, where we might get a little bit, where there's situations where the commission could exercise jurisdiction would be a tidal water course where no tidal wetlands are present. You do have the ability to pull that area into your jurisdiction. In those cases, those applicants would need both a permit from the Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Commission as well as the state through one of their permits that they issue below the coastal jurisdiction line, which is our shoreline jurisdiction here in Connecticut. So essentially, I think there's just been one application that we've seen, that was the bridge on Commerce Drive, that had tidal wetlands that we would not have recommended you issuing a permit for that project. That project was, I think, one of the first projects that we all reviewed together in March. Since then, in correspondence or coordination with your town staff or town council, we have been allowing applicants to, if they could provide evidence from a soil scientist that wetlands are supported by tidal hydrology and not inland wetlands, then those specific situations we have not been requiring permits. And I believe there's just been one of those projects thus far under this new guidance. I think a lot of this is going to be cleared up, as Tim described, with the updating of the wetland map. You do have town wetlands designated on your wetland map that are tidal wetland systems down in the Pine Creek area, Oldfield Road, and specifically Ash Creek as well. So I think if we clean those up, we can work on this kind of moving forward in terms of just pulling apart the tidal versus inland jurisdiction. And again, I think you had been doing this in years past, kind of with clear lanes, but then I think it got a little bit there's maybe some cross currents as a result of this litigation, I should say. Again, it's nothing enormously earth-shattering. It's pretty standard policy, but it's just something that we did note right out of the gate here that we do want to correct because the state doesn't want to see municipal or local boards exercising jurisdiction over tidal wetlands.
And that's why we wanted to come to the commission to present these findings and have the commission, as a matter of policy, tonight, hopefully concur with that recommendation and on a go-forward basis, authorize staff to coordinate with the Connecticut DEP on issues concerning tidal wetlands, and to also be in the process of updating that wetlands map, which, as Megan said, will address a lot of the issues that we're discussing here tonight.
Does this affect any of the issues with Montauk Builders?
I couldn't hear that quite clearly.
No, I was just, the question was, does this affect the ongoing case with Montauk Builders on Pine Creek?
What would probably and likely happen is if the commission were to adopt this policy, the applicant would not be prohibited from reapplying under this policy and allowing the DEP regulations to in fact control. If he were to reapply, in all likelihood, an approval would be granted. Well, de facto, because it would comply with whatever mandates came from the state, and presumably the appeal would be withdrawn.
There's one other thing I'd like to add here, which is something that is likely a little bit
All
more.
right, who's on the phone that doesn't have their mute on? Who,
Like they're at a sports game, maybe?
you gotta hang up or go on mute.
I wasn't on
Right.
mute. I'm putting it on mute. I apologize.
Thank you. Go ahead.
That's okay. So one of the things that I think it might be worth kind of working with the town plan and zoning staff, because there's an issue as it relates to tidal wetlands under the state jurisdiction, in that there's no upland review area to tidal wetlands. Some towns have worked within those confines of the state law by enacting some type of setback in their CAM regulations. But that, again, that's going to be in your zoning code. That wouldn't be in the inland wetlands, but that's something that I think if the town is interested in having a little bit more jurisdiction in tidal wetland areas, that's something that you could consider and coordinate with town council on that aspect under the CAM regs.
So somebody files an application and on the map, it's wetland soil. What happens? We ask them to show that it's not wetland soil before we make them file an application. How does that work? If they believe it's not wetland soil, it's tidal and the map is wrong.
So what they would do is, I think this would be addressed in the pre-application process, or and it would be vetted through staff. And you would have, for example, something down maybe just on one of your lower estuaries, where you have a report from a soil scientist that comes in to state that the wetlands on the property are supported by tidal hydrology. They're at a low elevation 3 or 4. They're occupied by halophytic vegetation. These are clearly tidal wetlands. At that point, there would be court communication back to the applicant that there's no inland wetlands jurisdiction here, and that they would need to proceed with their other regulatory avenues as it relates to perhaps their zoning approvals or building permits, etc. Health department.
So we wouldn't see this, we wouldn't hear about it, we wouldn't see it. And then how long do we think it's going to take to get the wetland map updated? It's probably quite a process and takes a, do we know?
Yeah, we've done that. We've done it in some other towns where we have helped work on that. I mean, it's something that we want to have direct coordination with your GIS staff to update the map, put this all in GIS, because right now there's some paper maps with scans. I mean, I think if you devoted time to it, it could be a matter of a handful of months. It depends. I mean, I think you could probably start in your lower, like your areas south of 95, south of Route 1, and just clean up the tidal versus inland situations down in those areas. And then you wouldn't necessarily need to tackle everything as it relates to your, the areas that you've determined are no longer wetland, maybe through inland wetlands applications, et cetera. I think it could be iterative, but you could start with your lower, your southern boundary and work north would be what our recommendation.
I would also add to that, Madam Chair, that as most of you know, our GIS systems in the greater Bridgeport area are regional GIS systems through MetroCog. And I know during my tenure as chairman of MetroCog, an emphasis was placed upon the regional planning agency, being MetroCog, working with the municipalities to update zoning maps, wetlands maps, having that extra regional resource. So I would make the recommendation to the commission, and I'll make the recommendation to the first selectwoman as well, that in the interests of cleaning this up and making sure we are on solid footing from a process standpoint, that we engage MetroCog to the best extent possible. And if we have to engage SLR, even once your new director is on board, whatever we have to do to get this done and to do it right, we'll do that.
That makes sense to me.
Are those boundaries, are they maintained by the state? So it's a matter of overlay, it's an overlay, or can you walk me through that? How would that work?
It would likely be mapping through aerial photography. There are some boundaries that are available. There's a state layer, a state GIS layer, but it's not reliable. I could see a first flush being a GIS exercise with aerial, recent aerial ortho images, and then field truthing or ground truthing questionable zones.
That's sort of my next question, if it was on ground truth at all.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this case by case is also reasonable for the beginning until you overhaul your whole map. That's not unreasonable.
And the reason why the wetland soil it would be inland wetland 25 years ago and now it's tidal, it's a natural process, right? Is that correct? I mean, this is something that's not unusual. It wasn't long to begin with.
I'm not sure about that, Jen. I think that the areas that we're looking at have been tidal wetlands for thousands of years. I don't think a lot of this is landward advancement. Maybe in some cases, but I think in general, I would think that they have been tidal wetlands.
What does this cost?
What does it cost? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You? What's the cost, Megan?
The question I can't directly answer, but we can research that. I will tell you that if the commission continues to act without jurisdiction on items that they are clearly statutorily not allowed to act upon, it's going to cost the town a lot down the road if this isn't cleaned up in terms of legal costs and legal fees. When you have appeals like this, where we're going, in this present case, we're going to be very hard pressed to make an argument that you have jurisdiction. There's nothing codified in your regulations that either supersedes or circumvents or supplants the Connecticut general statutes, which clearly delegate the responsibility of tidal wetlands to the Connecticut DEP.
You're on mute.
Attorney Herbst, was this a recent case? Is this something that just came down? I'm not sure what this is. I apologize.
There is a pending appeal currently before the Superior Court. As a result of this agency's decision,
Okay.
I can tell you that the attorney on the other side, very outstanding attorney who used to work in the Attorney General's office, prosecuting cases on behalf of the state as it relates to environmental protection. I hold her in very high regard. She knows the statutes better than most, and you're going to have an issue on this appeal. You're going to have a jurisdictional issue, a big one. So that's why we're before the commission tonight to advise you. Our job is to give you the best possible advice to guide the policy decisions that you make. And it is our recommendation that as a matter of public policy, this commission allows staff to make a determination at the counter when an application is filed, whether there are inland wetland or tidal issues. And if there are tidal issues, and if the applicant has met their burden of demonstrating that it is in fact tidal, with the regulations and statutes that empower the DEP to have jurisdiction control. And that is what we are asking this commission to adopt as a matter of public policy tonight.
Thank you, Attorney. Well, Megan, if I may.
Yes.
Does SLR, we're not the only shoreline town that you guys are with. Is this something you've seen other towns do, or be an aberration?
It's an aberration here.
Okay, thank you very much.
Do you need a motion and a vote, or do we just give a sense of the commission?
I would prefer a motion and vote if possible, Madam Chair.
So is it a motion to allow staff level review of applications to determine title or in the whether an application is in title or in the wetlands? With staff's discretion, something like that?
And if a determination is made that it is title, that staff directs the applicant to adhere to and follow Connecticut DEEP guidelines.
State law, okay.
Okay, should we add pursuant to the general statutes?
Yes, sure. Do you want to make that motion, anybody, or do we want to move what we just said? Is that clear enough? We don't have Sarah here to. Can you do that, Luke?
I'll give it a shot, guys.
Okay.
Second. So it would be, I move that per our council's recommendation that we allow staff, upon determination that an applicant is in a tidal wetland, that the staff has authority to advise them per the statutes that a permit is not required and that they may comply or need to comply with the DEEP regulations.
Yep, so that would be going forward a matter of policy for this department.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that would be the policy going forward of the Town of Fairfield Conservation Commission acting as the Inland Wetlands Commission.
Okay,
Did you say second, Nelson?
yeah, I'll second that, yeah.
Discussion? All right, all those in favor?
All right,
Opposed?
Well, I just have sort of a question. How does that work if there's both inland and tidal wetlands on the same parcel?
That can happen, and that there would just be an upland review area associated with your inland wetland and no upland review to a tidal wetland. And again, you wouldn't have jurisdiction there, but that's something that wetland scientists, soil scientists can discern in the field. And that does occur in certain sites where there's a topographic break and, you know, I mean, for example, we saw that at Sasko Hill, right? The 1143 Sasko Hill Road, where we saw pockets of little and then we obviously had an inland wetland in, you know, upland of that, upgrading of that. So that's what, just, it's the site specific part. It's like kind of moving away from reliance on mapping to site specific data is really the best approach for everybody here.
okay.
Thank you very much. Is that it? Is that all? Anything else, Attorney Herbst?
That's it. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the commission. Just for the record, what was the vote?
Unanimous. And there's 6 of us? Is it 6? 5?
Yep.
Thank you very much. I want to thank you for your time this evening, and I want to thank you for taking us out of order.
What?
Attorney Herbst, one more thing, one last thing, I apologize. By action doing this, does this appeal not get withdrawn?
The presumption would be, as I indicated earlier, based upon this new policy, the applicant will come back in,
Okay,
they will apply,
Yep.
and they will likely withdraw.
okay, thank you.
Because at that point, it would be rendered moot.
Yep, thank you, sir. Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Megan.
Thanks.
Thank
Good evening,
you.
everyone. Stay
Thank
cool.
you. All right, moving on to Roman numeral 4, 4A, old business, number 1, IWPA 2020-21-17, Fairfield University. 1073 North Benson Road, Assessors Map 143, Parcel 160. Construct new residential townhouses in the vicinity of Lynch Road within a regulated area. Staff recommends approval with conditions. And do we have the applicant or representative here?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
can you hear me?
Yes, you go ahead and introduce yourself and discuss your application. Thank you.
My name is David W. Frassinelli. I'm Vice President for Facilities at Fairfield University. Fairfield University, as you're aware, is 210-acre campus on North Benson Road. At the north end of our campus are some existing townhouse structures, 15 approximately. And we are looking for conservation approval to add 2 freestanding buildings in the same style as the other buildings in that developmental area.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Or Megan, do you want to go ahead and discuss your recommendation?
Sure. Yeah, we took a look at the plans which were prepared by Langen Engineering out of New Haven, and they're looking to put 2 new townhouses, townhouse 16 and townhouse 17, each about 5,000 square feet as the footprint. One of these townhouses will exist within the 79-foot upland review area to a detention basin, a stormwater wetland that exists on the property. The other townhouse is actually located outside of in upland review, but there's a little bit of a movement of a guardrail and relocation of a shed and a light pole within the upland review to another stormwater wetland. But essentially what we were looking at when we looked at the application is the fact that there's no direct wetland impact. The project will tie into existing town water, sewer, as well as existing drainage network. There's going to be a net improvement of stormwater on the site because they're looking to supplant impervious pavement with pervious pavement. And so we recommended the approval with conditions, and the conditions related to a phasing plan and operation and maintenance plan to prepare for the pervious pavement. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of reverb again. As well as a revegetation plan behind the building. But essentially the plans were well prepared, and the project, it was impressive the way it was shoehorned into the site, and the use of pervious pavement was certainly lauded from our town engineer, who gave a positive recommendation, as did the other town boards. So the staff report is on the agenda, and happy to discuss any comments the commission may have at this time.
Are there any issues with the conditions from the applicant side?
No issues from the applicant side. If I may, I'd like to add that we have been using pervious pavement on campus since 2010, I believe. We were one of the first in the area to do that. And we've established the appropriate maintenance plans, the most significant of which is the vacuuming of the pervious pavement. We've already eliminated the use of sand as an ice control. We were strictly an all salt campus, but you still need to vacuum for the sand brought in by cars from off campus. So pervious has worked well for us. Our first lot was across from the Quick Center in 2010, and it quite frankly functions and looks as good as the day we put it in.
Great. Yep. So I don't have any other comments either. So if there's questions for us, just let us know.
And I think you're on mute.
Sorry about that. I have no questions, and I don't hear any others. Do we have a motion?
I'll motion to approve with condition.
Second? Does anyone have a second?
Sure, I'll second.
Discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Richard, did you vote? Are you all set? Oh,
Richard, you're on mute.
Hello. Can't hear you.
No, I was included as an alternative.
Oh, well, you were, but it's okay. We have enough, so.
I'm in favor.
Okay. All right, it's unanimous. Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, staff and Madam Chairman. I believe we, Fairfield, you, Kurt, and I will sign off then.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Megan, are you sticking around or do you need to go?
I'm happy to walk through. Yeah, I could do the, I just have to go in like 15 minutes. So
Okay.
I'm fine to walk through the acceptances if you want to run through those, or the performance bonds. Those were Sarah's, but I think those were self-explanatory. I don't know if there are folks on for those actually, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
You'll see that
Well,
there.
we can run through those pretty quickly. So let's just do that. Roman numeral B, request for release of performance bond. Staff recommends approval by general consent of the following performance bond releases due to satisfactory completion or partial completion of permit requirements. A, IWP 2003-02, Jenniello, Catamount Road and Mulberry Hill Road, construct new driveway within the Mulberry Hill right-of-way and construct new dwelling, septic system, stormwater detention within a regulated area. Request of Wells Stapleton for final release of $9,350. Does anyone have any questions as to what this is? All right, do we have a motion to approve the release of $9,350?
Do we need it if it's just by general consent?
We can do it by, can we do it by sense of the commission? Or do we, I think we need a vote, don't we, Megan?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, IWP 2013-14-10, O'Hara, 75 Chester Place, construction of an in-ground pool and patio within a regulated area. Request of Walter Stapleton for final release of $3,900. Do we have a motion to release $3,900? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, no one's opposed. Okay. Okay, sorry. IWP 99-03, AFM Properties LLC, formerly MTW Properties LLC, 630 and 640 Hoyden Lane. Request of Eileen Wellner for final release of $2,500 for parcel number 640 and $2,500 for parcel number 640 and parcel number 630. Do I have a motion to release $2,500 for each for both parcels?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Okay. Monthly wetland business update, see attached. Is there anything you want to point out to us, Megan, or?
Not that jumped off the page to me. So again, if there's any questions on that stuff, we're happy to go through it, but it seemed pretty typical from the
Okay.
last few months.
Questions, anyone? All right. All right. Number 2, IWPA 2020-21-19, Town of Fairfield, DPW, 655 Holland Hill Road, Gould Manor Park, Assessors Map 128, Parcel 198. Proposed overflow system within a regulated area. And application type per staff is non-significant. No public hearing request received. Staff recommends tabling pending legal notice and departmental review. Do we have a motion to do so?
I'll move.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. All right, number three, IWPA 2020-21-20, Milligan, 75 Old South Lane, Assessors Map 2401, Parcel 56A. Demolish existing residence and construct new single-family residence, swimming pool, and terraces within a regulated area. Staff says it's non-significant. No public hearing. This petition has been received. Staff recommends tabling pending legal notice and departmental review. Do I have a motion to do so?
Second.
I need a second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
What, are we skipping number 2, the Town of Fairfield DPW 655 Holland Hill Road?
We did that. We did that one, but we skipped number 1.
Skipped
Skipped
Demetrio.
159 Lolly Boulevard.
Okay. All right, I'll do that right now. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. IWPA 2020-21-18. D. Demetrio, 159 Lally Boulevard, Assessors Map 182, Parcel 4. Construction of a new dwelling within a drainage area within a regulated area. Staff says it's not significant. No public hearing petition has been received. Staff recommends tabling pending legal notice and departmental review. Do I have a motion to do so? Second. Nelson, all those in favor? Aye.
Okay, sorry.
Charlie, all there? Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm on number 4, right?
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
Number 4, IWPA 2020-21-21, Aquino, 645 and 701 Hillside Road, Assessors Map 174, parcels 57 and 57A. Construct new single-family dwellings with in-ground pools, stormwater detention, and subsurface sewage disposal systems on each lot within a regulated area. Staff says non-significant. No public hearing petition has been received. Staff recommends tabling pending legal notice and departmental review. Do I have a motion to table?
Motion.
And a second. Second by Brian. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Do we have anything else for inland wetlands tonight? Anyone? Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn and we'll go into special meeting for the Conservation Commission?
Move to adjourn.
Second? All right, all those in favor? Okay. All right,
I'm
so we're
gonna-
go into, go ahead.
And I'm
You
going to run
leave?
now, Jen.
See ya.
Yes.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot, guys.
Bye,
Take
Jen.
care.
Thank you.
Be
Bye-bye.
well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, Ed Jones, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna open the meeting. Hello, I'm Jen Hahuth. I'm the chair of the Fairfield Conservation Commission. Tonight is, we're meeting as the Conservation Commission. It's a special meeting agenda. And we have Brian McCann, Charlie Rowan, Nelson North, Lucas Thomas, and Richard Boucher as an alternate. I'm going to put him as an alternate. So we have a quorum. Okay, Bills and Communications, approval of Conservation Commission meeting minutes of May 19th, 2021. Does anyone have any motion to do so or
I'll move.
second?
Sure.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Approval of Secretary's Bill for Conservation Commission meeting May 19th. Approve, motion to approve.
Okay.
Second,
Okay.
all those in favor? Aye. All right. Okay, Roman numeral 2, old business. Michael Trom, president from the Greater Fairfield Board of Realtors, proposed pocket park, 355 Burroughs Road. And Ed, take it away.
Yes, after going out there, well, it's in my memo, and there's pictures and everything. They've accepted the idea of placing the pocket park along the shoulder of the road. It'll go onto the open space a bit, but it will be separated by an existing berm. I guess that's just overburden that was taken out of there during construction of the wetlands and sewer and stormwater facilities in the past. It'll entail taking out some hazard trees, some invasive trees. And I've spoken with Mary Hogue also. We may try to incorporate some pollinator species there, etc. I believe it'll be 2 benches. We don't have a layout for it yet, but I look forward to it. It should be nice, quiet spot.
Is Mr. Trom here? Does he want to say anything, or is it just us?
I think he may be. I'm not sure if he is.
Does anyone have any questions, comments?
No.
I appreciate their efforts to do this, and I'm sure it'll be very nice. Thank you, Ed, for the additional staking. So, everyone all set with this? Mr. Trom isn't here.
There's an email from him in the packet that says
Yeah.
that it's
Mhm.
suitable. So I saw that. I'm happy with that.
So they're happy with it. Okay.
Do we need a motion?
And Mary Hogue is okay with Forestry Committee?
I spoke with her today on the phone, and she's looking forward to it. I guess they're
Okay.
doing some pollinator pathways and so forth, and one area is going to be around the corner, so it's going to kind of like intertwine and kind of hopefully grow out from there into different neighborhoods.
Great. Okay. If no other questions, do we have a motion to approve this?
Just one more
park?
thing. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Michael. I've been here all along. I'm sorry. That was me at the quote sporting event. I'm at my summer party, and I didn't know that the meeting was going to be so long before you hit my agenda item. So I do appreciate any consideration, and I will answer any questions if you have any at this point.
Does anyone have any?
And
Go ahead.
I've spoken with Mary as well, and there's some great ideas of adding some pollinator plantings right here, so that it becomes a sort of contiguous thing throughout the town. And there was a wonderful article in the Times today. I don't know if you guys saw it, about Fairfield and how wonderful it is. So we're very excited to move forward with this, and I thank Ed for all his help, and Mary for all her help with this.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. I'm sure it'll be beautiful. Everything you've done prior has been beautiful as well. So thank you. Anyone else? Questions or? Okay. Do we have a motion? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll move that we, I guess, allow this pocket park and the location as recommended by our open space manager.
At 355 Burroughs Road, yes. Okay.
At Burroughs Road, yes.
Do we have a second? Thank you. Do we have any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Trump.
Thank you, Mr. Trom. Thank you.
Thank you. It's really beautiful. Appreciate it.
Sorry I yelled at you before.
I'm going to have a drink now. Thank you.
Ed, is there anything else? Is there any other on this agenda item?
Not really. That's about it for
Yeah, there's
now.
nothing there, right? This was the
That's
only
it.
one. Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
I'll move to adjourn.
All those in favor? Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ed.
All right. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye bye.